All right, this is Jeff Head with Jeff Head's YouTube channel, in this case with 1/72nd scale fighters. And I wanted to show you a rather interesting video of a comparison between the French Rafael fighter that you see to the left here and the British and other European countries' Typhoon fighter that you see to the right. Both of these fighters originally started out being developed together, but some design differences later on in the development cycle led the French to break away, and using Dassault as their primary contractor to develop this aircraft, the Rafael. And the Rafael that we're looking here at now is the Rafael M, which is the carrier version, and I will share more with you about that in a moment. In the meantime, the British went ahead with the Italians and the Germans using Airbus, BAE Systems, and Leonardo to develop the Eurofighter, or the Typhoon. And it is principally a Air Force fighter, air superiority, with a very significant ground strike capability. I put together this little picture that kind of summarizes it. If you look at this, you can see the United Kingdom Typhoon fighter has a number of countries that have joined with them: United Kingdom, Austria, Germany, Italy, Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Spain, and they have sold 623 of these fighters. The Rafael, on the other hand, has used France, India, Qatar, and Egypt, and sold a total of 308 fighters, some of which are still outstanding in terms of delivery. And so the British will tell you that their fighter, because of the number produced, is considered by the world, at any rate, to be the more capable aircraft. I don't know that that's necessarily true. Both aircraft are very capable. Both of them are what you might call 4.5 plus generation fighters. Neither one of them are really fully stealth fighters at all, but both of them have very significant electronic warfare, maneuverability, weapons carrying capabilities, and others, and should be considered very capable and very dangerous fighters for anyone who comes up against them. Let me move this piece of paper out of the way here, and we'll take a look a little more at them. This version, I've got the canopy open and the ladder for the pilot to get up. This is also the refueling probe on that aircraft. If you turn it over, you can see, at least on this aircraft, the various weapons locations. You have a large central location for a very large air-launched cruise missile. You've got two long-range missiles there in the middle. Just behind that, you've got two short-range missiles, a couple of 2,000-pound laser-guided bombs, and two large fuel tanks. So this would be a long-range strike package to go air to ground, also with 4 very capable air-to-air missiles. You can also see the landing, the arrestor hook for the aircraft carriers, and you can see that the how thick the landing gear are which are principally for, of course, the landing on the carriers, where they have to have very thick and very capable landing gear to withstand the jolt when they land. Same up front. You've got a dual gear with a thick build. Also, they've got a very significant air intake that helps them with their maneuverability and their ability not to be seen by potential aggressor aircraft. These fighters are very significant fighters and a very significant capability for the Charles de Gaulle and any future carriers that the French may build. Now, the French are talking about building another non-nuclear Charles de Gaulle sized and capable aircraft. They've only got about 44 of the Rafael M's now. Of course, if they built another carrier, they would add another full air group for that one. So they might get to as many as 100 of the M's. Still, that's a relatively small number altogether, and I would expect that they would want to build some extra ones in case of any true combat to a near peer competitor. Let's look at the Typhoon now. So we'll move the Rafael back and we'll bring the Typhoon forward. One thing you can see about the Typhoon is the canards are further forward, and this is a dual seat Air Force version of the Typhoon, and it's a equally capable fighter. You know, and you always have the French and the British going at it between each other. Let me wipe some of the dust off of this, pardon me, so that you can see inside, because it's well outfitted in terms of its capabilities. Again, it's a twin engine jet, and we'll look at the bottom of it. In this case, this is a air superiority roll, long distance. It's got two large fuel tanks on its wings. It's got 4 long-range missiles and 2 short-range missiles. And on the wingtips, it also has some electronic countermeasures for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, and that's a total of 10 positions. But you can see right there in between the others that they also have 2 more positions. So there's actually 12 spots for loading munitions and weapons and other either sensors, fuel tanks, etc., whereas the Rafael has 11 positions. Anyway, I wanted to put both of these out here. I think they're interesting aircraft with an interesting history. There's about 1,000 of these 2 aircraft built. They're very, very similar with some differences, and those differences are principally what the French wanted integrated into their aircraft. With doing that, of course, there was additional cost added for both logistical reasons and for the differences, but they both perform well. 12 Typhoons are kept out there on the Falkland Islands at all times. with the ability from the Ascension Islands to reinforce the Falklands if ever necessary with another 24 very, very quickly. So it's very unlikely that the Argentines would ever be able to pull off another takeover of the Falklands, because the Typhoons would certainly interdict any aircraft that they could send at them, and while they were interdicting, immediately twice the number that they already have would be on their way. So that's a potential hot spot. And of course they have been involved, both the French and the British, with much of the Middle East fighting that has been going on. So there you have it, the Rafael M French multi-role. The French actually call it an omni-role fighter aircraft, and the British, or better said European, Typhoon or Eurofighter, there on the right, that has something on the order of 650 aircraft ready to defend various, as you saw in the paper, national roles. Thanks for watching. We'll have more coming, and hope that you join our channel and let other folks know about it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.